Alrighty. Hello everyone. It's Laptop Mangaka again. Up a little bit early. I got work pretty soon, but hopefully I can get through something that we've all been waiting for, which is the Guilty Gear Strive patch notes themselves. Um, I haven't read these yet, but people's reaction on Twitter have been really positive. See, a lot of people had a lot of complaints with this patch, as you know, Guard Crush has been really strong, Potemkin's really strong, Goldlew's is really strong, Johnny's really strong. People generally don't like the top tiers in this patch, or at least in our previous patch compared to this one. And some system mechanic things. I already know a few changes just because there's been some Lucy footage and we've been able to see some stuff and I've seen some stuff broken down. But other than that, plenty of new things to sort of explore. They're adding all kinds of cosmetics and stuff. Ranked matches being implemented, which actually I'll jump in and play that. So those are the tiers for ranked: Iron, Bronze, Silver, Gold, Platinum, Diamond, Vanquisher. So honestly, this would be really fun. So now you can also just queue up for ranked. You don't have to mess around with the lobby stuff. You have a wider pool of players to play with instead of just always fighting people like that. So, and there's some new badges and everything like that. They're adding Wi-Fi indicators as well, so we can expose some people. So that's the Wi-Fi indicator, the connection indication. Features that this game arguably should have launched with, but we'll take it now. You can even oh, that's so cool. You can go, yo, I did not realize the connection was as bad, and you two can just both walk away from it. That's really cool. That's really good. A lot of really good quality of life stuff for a ranked mode. Some other things. Venom, reduce the opponent's health to 0. Oh, that's funny. It looks like it was just a visual thing. Okay, and then let's go ahead and get into it. Mechanics. We revised some universal mechanics to address certain offensive and defensive interactions that were seen as problematic. Regarding character-specific adjustments, our focus has been improving the overall balance of the cast. We have also updated underutilized moves to give them a more distinct purpose. Please note that in order to align the overall balance with the changes to universal mechanics, some characters saw minimal adjustments. Okay, so this is definitely like a case where sometimes like a nerf to the system mechanic could nerf a character overall. And so maybe like they will suffer more from a universal mechanic change and they don't need individual balance adjustments. I know like Guard Crush was something that they were saying they'd focus on in this patch. Risk level mechanic change. The risk level mechanic no longer affects damage scaling. Instead, the character's defense now varies depending on the risk level accumulated, increasing the damage dealt. Okay, so they're changing how it's calculated. I think they have a nice handy bar graph here to sort of explain things. Previously, the risk level accumulation reduced damage scaling, which led to combo damage in particular significantly increasing even with only slight accumulation. With the new properties, a small amount of risk level will no longer result in major changes to combo damage. That's really good, because, you block one little thing and then the damage could be very explosive. So this is something I'm surprised is happening now, as opposed to, like, what they were trying to go for last patch, where obviously you sort of had um, a stated goal of trying to reduce the overall damage, and that really didn't happen. And I think attacking the risk in this way to change how it's sort of calculated might actually work out really well. So I'm going to have to. There's going to be a lot of labbing with that. Good God. On the other hand, the damage bonus can now benefit even standalone attacks, such as long-range pokes or throws, creating potential for more damage situations where combos are not viable. However, to prevent excessive damage, the bonus damage from the effective risk level on defense is limited for certain attacks, such as throws, invincible moves, and overdrives. Okay, very good, very fair. Because actually, yeah, oh, that's going to be something really cool to lab out. Like, it seems like they might actually have achieved the goal that they wanted to, lowering damage. I'm very interested to see that. The graph below compares the damage of Souls combos between 1.47 and version 1.48 at different risk levels. At 50% risk level, the total damage is now significantly lower than before. Additionally, you can see that damage during the first half of the combo has been greatly increased at 100% risk level. Oh, how cool! They even give us the moves and everything like that, right? So, at 0 risk, this combo would do far slash standing 164. The old version at risk, 223 down to 182. That's a significant decrease. That's like 40 damage that you just lost. A higher risk gauge, it's a very minor loss. Okay. If everything else is like that, I mean, that's really good. In addition, we've reassessed the risk level increase and decrease amounts to be more gradual. Okay. Maybe it takes longer. Good God, it's going to take me forever just to lap that. I get a feeling that this patch series is going to be a bunch of videos as opposed to one big video. Yellow Roman cancel adjustment. This one I've known about. Yellow Roman cancel has been changed to create a greater distance on hit. This prevents the player initiating the reversal from gaining too great of an advantage, which is like a godsend. One of my more frustrating things about this game for me, you try to run offense, someone just pops a Y/R/C, all of a sudden I'm defending. Like, why? Why are you like this? It's not fair. I got in. And in the corner, like obviously, if you have the opponent in the corner and you Y/R/C, then it doesn't matter. But that's like situational, right? Like, and usually whoever's back is in the corner is at the disadvantage. But if you're in the corner and somebody Y/R/Cs you, or if you're in the corner and you Y/R/C the opponent, it's not all of a sudden it's your turn and you can run a strike throw mix and put them in the corner or get out of the corner. That's a really good change. You just sort of reset to neutral. We've seen some footage of this already. While there is no change in the recovery frames, it is now more difficult to initiate immediate strike throw mix-up, mentioned. When blocked midair, the user will land faster and be more susceptible to a punish. When blocked midair, be more susceptible to a punish. So, like, if you use a Y/R/C in the air, doesn't really happen too often. I haven't seen that. Or does this mean like well, it says the user will land faster. So it has to be if you use a mid-air Y/R/C. I don't see an airborne one too often, but I guess that was also pretty safe. Furthermore, it is now possible to activate during Guard Crush. Holy shit. Increasing the options available to deal with Guard Crush. Many moves that cause Guard Crush have long recovery frames, so performing Yellow Roman Cancel will now allow you a path to escape. Oh my god, that is so good. Because that would be one frustrating element about like fighting someone with Guard Crush. You could have like 50% tension, but if Potemkin's in your face just looping his Guard Crush, you never have an opportunity to Y/R/C and get out of there. Oh my god, that is good. And now it's also not BS where it's like, oh, well, I guess now I'm Guard Crush to get out of there. Although, if you can do it during a Guard Crush, oh, no, 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 I don't think you can, because if it weren't for the range, like the pushback increase, you could have just had a Y/R/C war, and, oh, he Y/R/C'd, I'm a Y/R/C back, right? It would have been, like, even more cringe than the Brave counter wars that we saw in Grand Blue. Well, because of the range increase, if you get pushed back, like, you'd be out of range, so there's no point in you Y/R/C'ing, you're just going to whiff a Y/R/C. Oh, that's so good. All right, let's see here. Change the timing of tension gauge depletion for overdrives with invincibility. Oh? With a few exceptions, Overdrive with invincibility from the startup will now deplete tension gauge on the first frame of startup. The technique of using purple Roman cancel solely to utilize the invincibility period was extremely powerful, as it could yield greater returns than landing in overdrive. With this change, using the same technique as before will now require 100% of the tension gauge. Okay, then they say with a few exceptions, so I wonder if they're letting Faust keep his, like, 50% overdrive reversal thing, which I think would be fair, because, like, he's always had that exception in Strive. And he doesn't have like an invincible DP either. But I also wouldn't mind if that got applied, like if everybody played by that rule, but they did say with a few exceptions, so I'm curious. Stagger recovery mechanic change. Yeah, and stagger is like when you have to mash a button to get yourself out of the hit stun. Pressing a button during stagger no longer triggers a recovery. Instead, the character will automatically recover at the earliest possible moment. In conjunction with this change, adjustment made so that some moves that induce stagger no longer triggers a recovery. Okay, so they're removing the mash mechanic to it. Instead, like stagger just has a fixed time to it now. Is that what I'm getting? That's interesting. That one is going to be one of the parts out. Adjustments for all wild soda types. Oh lord, everyone, brace yourselves. As they were still too powerful overall. Okay, good tone. The following adjustments have been made to emphasize the traits of each color variations. Red wild soda can no longer be canceled on block. Well, people were wondering, like, hey, here's a bunch of moments where Kai should be red wild assaulting. You know, on block. We're not seeing him do it. Well, now we know why. You can't do it on block. That makes so much sense. Oh my god, like, because Red Wild Assault was the best because, like, you got to prolong your offense, right? Like, you're doing your block string, the opponent's pushing you out, you Red Wild Assault, you get back in there, you run a, strike throw, high low mix, whatever. And now you can't. Like, Red Wild Assault just is there for a combo tool. Oh my god, yes. That's what it should be, is a combo extension, right? And blue should be like, um the one where it's used for blocking, right? This wild assault now rewards players for hitting the opponent with hit, and in turn has less potential to maintain their offense when it is blocked. That's the only change to it. Oh, perfect. Blue wild assault. It has increased damage scaling and blowback scaling upon hitting the opponent. Okay, so its combo power is nerfed. Because blue wild assault was good because if you use it on block, right, you could guard crush the opponent. You know, if you're Bridget, you set up a yo-yo. Happy Chaos, you can reload a bullet, right? So it was very good for characters that had it on block. But then on combo, it was pretty good for extending too. So I had to see like what combos they get now. White Wild Assault, oh, excuse me, Blue Wild Assault. This Wild Assault now rewards players when they make the opponent block it, and in turn has less powerful combos on hit. Yep. Wild Assault is now possible to perform a Roman cancel. What? While useful and neutral, it will no longer allow you to keep momentum when blocked. What? Hold up. Hold on, I have to parse that one out. Like, it's possible for you to use it and then R.I.S.C after it? That seems a little degenerate. When will no longer allow you to keep momentum when blocked. I wonder. Okay, I'm gonna have to explore this one a bit. I mean, like, I know it's negative, but I know that if it's like a white wild assault, you block it. I think white wild assault guard crush. Did it guard crush? Oh god, I have the versions. I can't remember all the changes to wild assault recently. I haven't played this game too much. Like, white wild assault has the iframes now. Does it still guard crush? Because I mean, for one, if you get guard crushed by a white wild assault, you can YRC it. But now you can perform a Roman cancel. Oh, excuse me, I completely misread that. It is now impossible to perform a Roman cancel. Yes, that's what it should have been. I misread that for like a whole minute. And everyone watching this video is like, no, Mangaka, you can't Roman cancel. That's what it's saying. Mangaka, please. All right, and so then they break down each individual change. Defense is now reduced. At maximum risk level, defense is reduced by 50%. That's good. As an exception, throws, invincible moves, overdrives, the trigger cinematic upon hitting. Lock-on moves will have their damage calculated with half the reduced defense. With half. Okay, so they don't scale with that. Decrease the risk level. Now increase on blocking moves and attack level of 1 or higher. Okay, so again, it builds up slower. Attack level 0 means unchanged. Decrease the risk level reduction when attack hits while risk level is accumulated. Decrease the risk level when attack hits. Okay, so it consumes less overall, so it lasts a bit. Decrease the risk level reduction over time. Okay, so risk will still stick a little bit, right? Like it's not going to be depleting as quickly as it was before, but it's still there. Stagger recover from stagger now occurs automatically without button input. Yep, recover from stagger will now always occur at the earliest possible moment. Nice quality of life thing, just because like that was always like an annoying little mash check, and perfecting a mash. It's always hard. Yellow Roma cancel can now be activated during guard crush. Increased knockback on hit. Increased gravity applied during air blocks. I'm gonna have to make sure and see, like, because if I bait this by jumping it, being able to land faster so that you don't have to do like a very obscure tech where you gotta like FD break to block it. Red can no longer be canceled when blocked. Recovery frames change from 20 frames to 19 frames. Interesting. Okay, it's 1 frame faster on recovery. Frame advantage on block has changed from -4 to -3. So it's like safe. Oh, I get it. Okay, so like, oh, I follow it. I follow it. So you could still, let me double check this. No longer be canceled on block. Okay, so you could still use Red Wild Assault against an opponent that blocks. That way, like, you can't OS a poke, right? Like, if I'm Soul and I 6 far slash and you block it and I input Red Wild Assault, I thought that, if you blocked it, I wouldn't get Red Wild Assault. But instead, I get Red Wild Assault, but then I get in and now I'm negative. So, because of that whole thing where it can't be canceled and whatnot, like, they did make it safe because there is no 3-frame normal in the game, but you do give up your turn. Okay, that's also very good. Right? So then, like, I get punished if I go for a blind poke and I Red Wild Assault. Now I just gave up my turn and I'm, point blank in your face and you run your offense. Okay, that's really good. I misunderstood it earlier. Blue Wild Assault, increase risk level reduction. Increase common blowback scaling when the button is not held. Okay, so if you have a setup where you get a full charge one, it's still fine, but a raw one, it's not. Can no longer roam and cancel from White Wild Assault. That's really good. Okay, let's see. Pretty much everyone. Oh, yeah, okay, big patch. Everyone has changes. Everyone's got changes. Soul, we have reduced the difficulty of combos in certain situations to increase the reward of successfully confirming based on the situation of the match. Crouching us now triggers a stagger effect on counter hit. Oh, please. Let me counter hit crouching slash into a full charge Night Raid Vortex. They can now combo the charge. Yes! A counter hit. Yes, that's good. That's good. Giving Soul a new confirm is nice. Previously, the counter hit slow motion effect made the move hard to convert off of due to the high difficult combos. This adjustment will provide stable damage when players successfully confirm it. Always a good change. Reward skill, and it's situational. Added stagger effect on counter hit, and don't forget, stagger effect on counter hit. It's always the earliest possible one. Ground throw. When throwing an opponent to the corner, the distance is now the same regardless of the character. Okay, a nice little fix. Wild throw can no longer be canceled from normal and command normals. Interesting. Probably nerfing some tick throw stuff. Also, oh yes, so as a sole bad guy, if I'm running forward and I'm holding forward, right, and I want to like 6 slash at you and then do a bandit revolver, because I do forward and I do quarter circle forward, the game reads it as a DP input. So I can't tell you how many times I've been trying to like poke with a 6S and then get a bandit, a wild throw instead of a bandit revolver. So annoying. And so now That's no longer a thing. That's so nice. I don't know. I no longer have to half circle my bandit revolver. I can just quarter circle it, and I will never get a wild throw. That's so good. Maybe it hurts some tick throw stuff, but like, eh. You can't really. You didn't get an advantage from canceling it anyway because the opponent would still be in block set. You always had to delay it anyway. Oh, that's so nice. Tyrant Rave. Tension gauge is now spent on the first frame of startup. Yep, in line with it. Okay, this is very weird because we got a lot of system mechanic changes, but maybe some of the character stuff is a little less. Kai Kiske. We have strengthened the effect of Shock State to better utilize its inherent strength as a character. We have now revised the property's crouching edge, which was used infrequently. Shock State is no longer removed when the opponent enters hit stun. Interesting. Oh, okay, so like, if you have the opponent in shock state and you hit them, you no longer have to worry about it falling out in the middle of your combo. Like, you have to use a move that consumes it. Oh, that's really nice for Kai. This ensures that if shock state is applied at the start of a combo, you can benefit from it consistently. That's really nice. Consistency, consistency. This ensures, yeah. First hit of Stun Dipper now launches the opponent. This is something that we've seen in the footage. And during shock state, the opponent will no longer attack on landing the second hit. Yeah, so you get better Okazemi, and you can continue to run stuff. Like, yeah, we've seen this change. We've expanded the hitbox of crouching S forward, emphasizing its incredible range as it's reaching an even far-standing slash. He's got a better low poke now. Oh, Lord. It now also causes less knockback, making it more viable and neutral as a combo into a standing heavy slash. We've expanded some hitboxes for upwards as well to address certain situations where combos were difficult to land. Okay, Kai's got some buffs. Reduce knockback on crouching slash. Expanded the hitbox forward. Some hitbox are upwards. Check. Shrunk forward hurt box. It's a pit. Okay, crouching S is juiced. Shock state be read. Stun edge. Fix an issue where all versions cannot be activated for a certain period of time when receiving damage at a certain moment. Interesting. Charge stun edge. Blowback adjustment, including during shock state. Reduce horizontal blowback of the final hit. Oh, it might be more combo friendly. Increase the launch of the final hit. Oh, you could probably do some combos into this now. Made the final hit less susceptible to vertical combo blowback scaling. Okay. Fix an issue. Yeah, okay, same bug fix. Stun Dipper at a launch effect. Yeah, he learned from Unica. That's nice because, you might think you're at the right range with Kai, and then all of a sudden you're not, and then it's like, oh shit. You gotta scramble to fix it. So now, like, the fact that you just stun Dipper and it works, that's a nice buff for Kai players. Well, yeah, and then you get the hard knockdown, decrease horizontal blowback on the second hit during shock state, so yeah. He's got a consistent good Oki bit because in mid screen, like your Oki option was like Dire Claire, and then you had to run up, and you just couldn't really set up a looping game with charge stun edge. And now the opponent is just gonna be in shock state, like at all times, which is fine. Ride the Lightning, Tetragate now spent on first frame. Too little risk level accumulated when blocked during Dragon Install activation. Sacred Edge. Expanded hitbox backward. Oh, interesting. May. We revised the properties of her poke moves to lead into damage on hit more often. The reduced knockback of far standing slash means it can now combo into the slash version of Mr. Dolphin horizontal. A nice change, actually. She can like 2-hit confirm. Or like, have it not whiff. Her poke game's better. Counter hit crouching canceling as instantly into the slash version of Mr. Dolphin can now lead into a combo with moves such as overhead kiss or crouching K. Oh, that's very nice. Yeah, because you could cancel it, right? Oh, how very nice from May, actually. Reduce knockback. Reduce knockback. Added stagger effect on counter hit. Jumping K. Expanded hitbox and hurtbox downward. And then her whale super. Oh no. This is this her whale? No, this isn't her whale. Yeah, this is her invincible reversal. The orca. Goshogara. Yeah, spending the first frame of startup. Very few changes. Axel Low is now easier to keep the fight at long range, where he excels due to the increased reward from hitting with his pokes. Opponent will no longer attack on landing after being hit with Snail. Oh, Lord. He got a hard knockdown. This creates more advantageous situations after confirming off of his main poke, such as Crouching P or Far Standing Slash. 6K has been changed from a wall bounce to a tumble effect on hit. What? This allows special moves like Sickle Flash or Winter Mantis to connect more easily regardless of positioning, improving the consistency of his combos. Oh, Lord. Change hit stun state from Crouching P. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I gotta look at that. 6K, when hitting on the ground, the opponent is now launched. And remove wall bounce effect, but added a tumble effect. So, yeah, I mean, this should always be pretty applicable. Snail no longer triggers ground attack on landing. Reduced the horizontal blowback, made it less susceptible to horizontal combo blowback scaling. Whistling Wind. Fix an issue where projectiles continue to move when one vision is activated after reflecting the projectile. And then, yeah, tension gauge on Sickle Storm. Okay, a couple of minor things. Chip. With the revised properties of Sweep, removed the frontal hurt box during startup. Oh, that's a buff. This makes it easier to hit the opponent's low-profile moves, increasing his breadth of neutral options. Although the reach is shorter than Far Standing Slash, it rewards more damage on counter hit, making it an easy-to-use move with a proper balance of risk to reward. Sweep, Hurtbox Adjustment, or Hitbox, strung forward Hurtbox before the startup. Okay, so, you're less likely to get stuffed when you're trying to poke out with it. Awful Blade Diagonal, fix an issue where it was possible to cancel into Tightrope Run after touching the corner and changing direction. Where it was possible? Okay, so maybe something finicky. Tightrope Run attack, fix an issue causing unintended hurt boxes at certain timings after the active frames. Fix an issue where the character was in a counter hit state until the end of recovery from Tightrope below K while running. Okay, some bug fix stuff. But Chip was already always in a pretty good spot. Like his problems were like the matchups. Okay, Potemkin provides the balance of risk and reward for his moves that quickly close distance. Hammerfall has reduced movement speed and duration. Okay, it's not full screen. The Yokozemi available after Potemkin Buster and Slide Head is different now, making it easier for opponents to respond. Oh, yes. Because once Potemkin got in, he just always had offense. The effective Slide Head, the armor Slide Head has been removed? Oh my. That's insane. You can no longer go for a knockdown while enduring projectiles and pokes, adding more risk to the move. Yeah, because, someone charging up a projectile and you just poke out with it, then it's like, I don't care. That's another really good nerf. Mega Fist Forward has slower startup now, making it easier to respond with standing P or standing K. The slower startup makes it challenging to connect with opponents in the air, but now allows for additional attacks on hit. Oh, interesting. FDP is faster startup. The 6-data FDP stream can no longer be interrupted by all characters, taking a relatively safe option to return to neutral. That's nice. Defense modifier value changed to increase the damage taken. Oh, he's not as tanky anymore. Mega Fist Forward startup. So it's 4 frames slower now. 3 frames slower now, excuse me. Startup. Land recovery change from 15 to 18. Due to the slow start, the frame advantage of block remains unchanged at -6. Increased list revel reduction, increased combo blowback scaling, increase the wall break value gain. Okay, so a lot of nerfs to Mega Fist. Blowback adjustment, increased launch height after ground bounce, an expanded forward hurt box before startup downward. Slide head, remove the ability to withstand attack from the opponent. Decreased base damage scaling, decreased combo blowback scaling when hitting as the first hit in a combo. Shrunk upper hurt box before startup. The height of the hurt box is now the same as its crouching height. Okay, interesting. Hammerfall, reduced movement speed, short movement duration, FBD. Startup change from -19 to 18. 10, startup at maximum change. FTP startup change by a frame. Startup at maximum charge remains unchanged. Tension gauge is now spun at the first frame. Okay, yeah, so the things that aren't in here, though, Potbuster is still armored, but maybe they're addressing the actual issues where it's like Bro, like, got to run offense because he used slide head, right? And maybe now you no longer get that Okizeme off of it. There's also no change to Garuda Impact. However, Garuda Impact is affected by the system mechanic change where you can YRC it. So there is some counterplay to that. So Potemkin is nerfed by virtue of the system mechanics. We'll have to see. Those are good changes. Maybe we don't need other changes. Faust, adjustments aimed at improving the viability of pokes, easier in easing the difficulty of combos. Knockback of far slash has been reduced. Continuing to crouching heavy after is now less likely to whiff, making it more consistent. Six heavy launches on hit can no longer comment a hole in one when it is used as a follow up from snip, 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 or thrust. However, mix, and thrust will now hit more reliably. Okay, reworking his combos. With the use in combos now causes less knockback. This change makes it easier for a close standing S to reach after. Okay, nice buffs. Reduce knockback. Remove the stagger effect on ground hit. It now launches the opponent. Blowback for ground hits differs from that of air hits. Blowback, reduce horizontal. Center gauge is now spent in the first frame of startup for his bone crushing assignment. Fix an issue where unintended behavior occurred if chip and the double from Gambler were hit simultaneously to win the round. Oh, interesting. Yeah, okay, so Faust no longer has his PRC gimmick. Or at least he needs 100% tension gauge to do it instead of just 50. So that's fine. Made adjustments aimed at strengthening rarely used special moves and reducing the difficulty of certain combos around Amelia. Artemis now launches opponents on grounded hit. Additionally, we have reduced the hurt box to make it work as a counter against pokes, making it more useful in neutral. Tandem S-top can cause a reduced blowback on hit, makes it easier to perform Okizeme after a hit, and is also aimed to follow attacks with Purple Roman cancel, even when only the edge of the attack connects. So reduce horizontal no blowback. Artemis, remove the stagger effect on grounded hit. It now launches the opponent. Blowback for ground hit now differs from that of air hits. Okay, interesting, yeah. So some reworks. Maybe just better rewards overall. Probably because, like, I don't know if you got a pickup from it before, actually, if the opponent fast recovered from a stagger. Zato! We've added the new special move Float, made adjustments to the Eddie life gauge to broaden his options for neutral and combos. We've seen the Float move. Float pulls Eddie back to the player's position and be launched at any time. While Eddie has no hitbox during the launch, his trajectory can be altered with a button input, allowing him to be sent to various positions. Particularly, launching Eddie behind the opponent is a powerful tactic and serves as a new starting point for offensive strategies. A lot to explore with that move. We're not going to really understand the strength of that move for like a week or two. The Eddie life gauge recovery speed has been increased. Yep, we calculated that. Time it takes for the gauge to fully recover after depletion has been reduced by approximately 1.7 seconds, allowing for more rapid transition back to offense. Drunkard Shade now has projectile invincibility. Oh, that's big! He has got anti-zoning game! This makes it an effective countermeasure against projectiles that cannot be reflected. For projectiles that can be reflected, the reflection effect remains unchanged. I guess some projectiles couldn't be reflected, but now we gotta see. When Gold Psych Burst hits, Eddie Life Gauge recovery starts by carrying over the previously remaining amount. Okay, so you no longer get, okay, when in gold, not blue. Recovery speed of Eddie Life Gauge from 0 has been increased. Oppose, starter change, okay, it's been shortened. 73. Starter projectile and setting hitbox change from 8 frames to 7 frames. So it's 1 frame faster. Reduce the horizontal blowback after ground bounce. Increase float height after ground bounce, so maybe it's easier to get combos. Proximity requirement forward. Float newly added. Drunkard Shade. Added projectile invincibility during frame 3 to frame 18 of the action. Okay, good stuff for Zato. Zato genuinely might be back. Because I was saying that, like, it kind of felt like they were just undoing some of the nerfs that he received. Because, like, he's been power crept. And now they're kind of, like, letting a full power Zato with new tools come in. Which I think is good. Adjustments to limit or prolong pressure strings and make it easier for the opponent to escape. Also made adjustment weakens some moves that were difficult to counter while expanding her options during neutral. Magento now has reduced guard crush duration for the sword portion and decreased active frames for the explosion. This makes it easier to escape the pressure with a jump if the gap is not covered by attacks from Ramlethal herself, reducing the lockdown potential of her strings. Yes! Like, sword is no longer throw, I'm in. It's part of the pressure. Like, she's got to keep you checked. The attack level and recovery of Ondo has been adjusted, now leaving Ramlethal at a disadvantage on block. Ondo, is that the rock? While this reduces his strength as a pressure tool, the adjustment to his startup and active frames make it easier to use in neutral. You think Ondo's the rock, right? Yeah. Oh my god. Because that was always dumb. It's like, she's already got the sword crushing stuff. Why does she have like this plus on block thing too? Ram nerfs, meaningful ones. Jumping heavy slash now has shorter duration and added land recovery. Now easier to intercept when used from high in the air. It is also easier to punish on landing if the opponent evades it. Sweep has longer range now. Okay, that's good. Making it easier to combo into from standing K or crouching K. Yeah, that was annoying. Makes it easier to trigger a knockdown after approaching with a dash. Expand a hitbox and hurtbox forward. Heavy slash changed active frames from 29 frames to 6 frames. Good lord! That's a massive reduction. Changed land recovery from 3 frames to 9 frames. Magento decreased guard crush duration for short attacks. Frame advantage on block against a grounded opponent at close range has changed from plus 30 to plus 20 for the S version, and plus 23 from 33 for the heavy slash version. Change active frames from the explosion attack from 15 frames to 10 frames. So where? Like, is it off the start of it? No, it wouldn't be the startup. Interesting. Daro, change hit stun state of the opponent. Oh, interesting. We got to look at this. Ariel Sildo de Truo, landed recovery change from 10 frames to 19 frames, increased knockback. Oh man, that's a big. Added proximity requirement downward. Ondo, change startup level from 30 or startup from 31 frames to 28 frames, decrease attack level, change active frames from 8 frames to 12 frames. Overall, the total duration has changed from 54 frames to 51 frames. Frame advantage on block has changed from plus 7 to -4. Yeah, so now it's like a projectile. Reduce hit stop, strengthen the vacuum effect, which sucks because, like, oh yeah, I'm close to the opponent, but I'm negative now. Reduced risk level reduction, decreased combo blowback scaling, decreased blowback scaling when. Well, it is good for combos, right? Yeah. Decreased wall break value gain, decreased blowback scaling when hitting. Okay, it was more rewarding, which makes sense because it's now worse on block. Increased horizontal blowback, decreased launch height, expanded hitbox forward. Calvados. Character now moves backward during the time freeze effect when activating near the corner. This makes it easier to hit with Calvados when activating close to the corner. And of course, Mordobato has the tension gauge change. Leo. Brynhilder has been adjusted, making it difficult to enter the stance from low risk moves, as well as more difficult for him to maintain his turn on offense after a failed mix up. Oh, good God. The opponent will now take upon landing after Eisensturm, even if Eisensturm connects after low risk moves, such as standing kick or crouching kick. This is DP. Oh my God. It's now more difficult to transition to Okazemi using Brynhilder. Holy shit. Oh my God, that's crazy. However, due to reduced horizontal blowback distance, it's now possible to perform meaty close standing S or turbulence heavy stance during Brynhilder's stance now. Creates a greater distance when the opponent is blocked. The attack level has been lowered as well, while Leo is still an advantage. If he cancels the stance after, it is more challenging to approach again to enter close range. Sweep has reduced horizontal blowback, making it easier to cross up with Zweit Scout's Ghost Cobra, even after hitting with the far edge of the attack, and now leads to consistent benefit regardless of distance. Okay, so sweep is better. Eisensturm, the opponent will recover after landing after the final hit, reduce the horizontal blowback after the ground bounce of the final hit. Yeah, so he doesn't get a hard knockdown, so he can't just set up his offense, but he still maintains some Oki. Heavy slash during Brynhilder, decrease attack level, increase knockback on block, and tension gauge. Good nerfs. Nagoriyuki! He's affected greatly by the system mechanic stuff because of his heavies. We have made adjustment to limit his potential for surprise attacks from neutral and the strength of his close range mix-ups. Komuriyuki has now changed from a low attack to a mid attack. Komuriyuki? Oh, Beyblade's a low? It's a mid now? Good! That was a stupid change to begin with. No longer possible to perform opponent mix-up using it together with the second hit of Shizuriyuki. Good! God, you. Oh my God, finally. He didn't need it. He never did. Thank you, R.I.S.C, for being willing to walk back on shit. Good God, man. It also will no longer hit the opponent while they are walking backwards in neutral. Yes, exactly. Thank you. God. That was a stupid part of the character. He did not need that. He did not need that shit. Standing heavy slash has reduced horizontal blowback on hit. As it no longer blows the opponent as far away, it's now easier to set up Okizemi after a hit, expanding the options for combos and strings. Okay, that's good. Defense adjusted how changes to defense based on the blood gauge process in line with the changes to the risk level mechanics. This may result in a slight difference compared to previous damage taken. Standing heavy, reduce the horizontal blowback, decrease launch height. Yep. Beyblade is now a mid again. Shizuriyuki, reduce the cancel window duration for canceling into the second hit or other special moves. Good. So, oh, they probably just killed his Oki in the corner where you could set up a Shizuriyuki, do the overhead as the same frame that a command throw would have hit. Oh, I gotta lab that out. Shizuriyuki tension gauge now spent. When hitting at close range and transition to a lock state, made it easier for opponent to be hit by attacks during the lock-on effect. Good! Nagoriyuki, like, this is perfect. That literally, I think, only the stuff, like, wow. Nagoriyuki's heavily nerfed, I would argue. Giovanna, by making less frequently used more viable, expanded her neutral options. Startup of Sepultura, when used at their shove, is now faster. Allows standing heavy slash shove Sepultura to hit consecutively, improving the reward when using far standing or standing heavy slash as pokes or counterpoints. Yeah, the process how her defense is calculated, just like with Nagoriyuki. Sepultura powered up, startup from 13 to 5 frames. Increase opponent's hit stop on block only. Change frame advantage to block from -5 to -3. Okay, so it's safe. Reduce knockback, increase movement speed. Okay. Sol Poente now enters an arrow state as soon as the hitbox of the first hit activates for both the standard and powered up versions. That's her poke, that's her spiral arrow. Shave now no longer triggers on a blocking pose from the opponent. Oh, so like no proximity guard? Fix an issue or punish. Tension gauge now. Okay. Interesting. Anji adjusted the moves with excessively low risk. Guard crush duration after Midari is blocked has been reduced and now leaves Anji at disadvantage when blocked. During Sugetsu no increased knockback on block. Yo, wait, Midari is fish, isn't it? It's so he gets no what is I can't remember what move that is. Against a jumping attack or block or and then making them block Midari. Yeah, that's fish. Midari is fish. It's koi. We call it koi, I think. Yeah, that's nice. The fact that like that was the annoying thing, right? Is that I skip your neutral and now I'm plus tee hee. Another good change. Crouching heavy slash now gives advantage on block. Change attack started from 22 frames to 27 frames rather than heavily relying on Fujin as before. Yeah, that's good. Change recovery from 19 to 9. Yeah, reduce knockback. Adjusted that backwards. Good changes. Good changes to Anji. Ino, let's see. Is she nerfed? Added clear risk to powerful moves that were difficult to counter. Yep, nerfs. Improved the usability normals that were difficult to use, so buffs and nerfs. The leap occurs faster during Mad Love Agitado, however, the startup is now slower. This makes it easier to intercept when predicted, creating room for counterplay. To compensate for the slower startup, the knockback has been improved to make it viable in combos. Now moves forward during standing heavy slash. This makes it more likely to connect after far standing slash or crouching S, improving their usability as pokes. Okay, so standing heavy slash moves forward. Mad Love Agitado charge change from 26 to 29. Sped up the time when Ino becomes airborne. Frame advantage on block remains unchanged. So maybe it's now possible to react to this because, like, some of the animation, like, she was on the ground, so you didn't know if it was a stroke or Mad Love. Fix an issue where the character was in counter hit state until the end of recovery, had to connect with the opponent, reduce the horizontal blowback, increase launch height. Ultimate Fortissimo has that change. Gold Lewis, again, heavily affected by Guard Crush nerfs. Emphasize the risk of powerful and difficult counter moves, reducing the benefit they provide. Yes, jumping D now has reduced active frame duration and a smaller frontal hitbox. It's now more challenging to use directly after jumping and hit with the active frame and thus easier to intercept. The opponent will now tech upon landing after Behemoth Typhoon midair. This makes it difficult to go into powerful Okizeme from a jump in. Nice! Yeah, because he could jump in, hit you with that overhead, and still get Oki. Behemoth Typhoon now triggers a more powerful counter hit effect. While the change of the yellow realm can make it easier to save the strings, there's more time to perform a follow-up after counter hit, allowing for more powerful combos. Okay. Increasing damage taken. Good. Jumping D, change active frames from 10 frames to 4 frames. Jesus. Expand a hitbox forward. Change counter hit effect of grounded versions. Opponent will now tech upon landing against the aerial ones. We'll have to see. Gold Lewis is definitely a little worse. He's definitely a little worse. Like, the fact that you can escape his pressure with YRC is massive. And set back to neutral. That's very big. Jacko, making them more practical. Countdown has a short detonation time. Ooh. Easier incorporate into Okizeme or strings. Defend command can now absorb the explosion of countdown. Ooh, emergency measure to escape, evade explosion. If the explosion is absorbed by defend command, the hitbox of that explosion will disappear, meaning it cannot be used to make an opponent block while you take no damage. Defend can now absorb. Change startup from 208 frames to 118. Okay, very big decrease. No longer triggers ground attack on landing. Oh, you get a hard knockdown. No longer hits after the end of a round. I'll have to merge these two clips together, but rest assured I'll get this up later. Okay, so I'm back home. I just had to go into work. So this is all going to be like spliced together, but if anything sounds a little different, that would be why. We just finished looking at Jacko's stuff. And now we're going to look into Happy Chaos. Still spoiler free, pretty much. We've adjusted some normals that were strong or neutral while adding new applications for less frequently used special moves. Crouching S now has increased recovery. This increases the risk when using it as a preemptive move to stop the opponent's approach. Okay. 6S now deaccelerates faster and has reduced range. To hit the opponent with this move, now you need to dash in closer before executing it. Which move even was his 6S, actually? Hold on. Can't remember what normal 6S actually is. Give me a second. Okay, that move. Okay. The clone from Scapegoat now appears farther to the front. When used at close range, the clone will now appear behind the opponent, making it possible to create offensive situations as if in the corner. Okay, a bit of a rebalancing, arguably. I mean, obviously, if you're close to, well, I guess we have to see like where this works. Like, yeah, it's nice that you can kind of create your own corner, but Happy Chaos really doesn't care for that, you know? I mean, I guess it might be nice to catch backdashes and stuff, but like the fact that like if you're close enough and well, granted, he never really would use this on like defense, but maybe if you're close enough and he tries to retreat with a clone, I'd have to see it. I'd really have to see it. Crouching S, change recovery from Jesus, they added 6 whole frames or something. There might be a lot here to unpack actually, because like even the advantage on block has been reduced. Like I wonder what his confirms look like. Like, obviously, you're still going to get a bullet, but do you need like 2 bullets to convert from this? I gotta see. I gotta see. 2S is a pretty strong move. Like, the weird, like, changing the recovery is like nice in theory, but like, as long as this man can whiff and normal and shoot a gun, I'm hesitant to really believe in any sort of like nerf like this actually having an impact. But this might actually really hurt his pressure from this normal, as well as maybe some of his confirms. This is weird. I'm gonna have to see this because this could very well mean you might need like 2 bullets or something now in order to run your offense from this normal or to pick up. I mean, we'll have to see. 6S has reduced movement distance. The scapegoat now spawns more forward. It now faces the opponent, reduced HP usage, and reduced movement distance. Okay. The one thing I will say is Happy Chaos is quite affected, I think, by some of the system mechanic nerfs. I mean, yeah, he will take less damage, which is good for him. He also does less damage, which is bad for him. But you could say that about like every character. Oh, I take less damage. That's good. Oh no, my damage. Where is it? But like the fact that like, he lost his best reversal because YRC, like before if Happy Chaos YRC'd you and you didn't bait it, you were in some hellish mix. And now if he YRC's you, you're just back to neutral, which is fine for him, but you're not eating a mix up. So I think he gets punished a bit by the system mechanic nerfs, and we'll have to see what crouching S and 6S does to the character. But nerfs are good, I'd argue. Like he's been getting quite a few nerfs, but he's still been very much proven to be a menacing character. Like in the hands of the right player, like Jack. Viking. We've made some adjustments to some low risk mix ups to make them less potent. Additionally, we've improved the usability of moves that were difficult to use in specific situations. The downward hitbox at the start of Yozansen has been reduced. While it will still connect as before when used at the lowest possible altitude, it is now more difficult to hit with the Yozansen after an aerial backdash. Okay? So this might uh, hurt it as like a delayed overhead thing. Like if you do Tiger Knee, Yozansen probably still works, but like if you're doing this after like a tether, I think, because I think Vikings would use like Yozansen here with tether to get a delayed overhead to make it like a 50-50 between a high and low. It's more difficult, but we'll see. I'll have to lab that out. Keep an eye on the bike and Twitter. Crouching Heavy Slash now is reduced backward knockback when hitting in the corner. This makes it easier to connect with Kabari Heavy Slash version after hitting with the far edge of the attack. That's nice, actually, because that could be tricky for Biken to confirm from, I guess. Hiragi, her command, will now reset command's input upon successful parry. This makes it less likely to trigger unintended moves. Okay. Crouching heavy slash, reduce knockback on hit, reduce backward knockback when hitting near the corner. Okay, some crouching heavy slash buffs, some more quality of life things. Nozansen's downward hitbox reduced during the first half of active frames. Haragi, the command input now resets when either parrying the opponent's attack from long range or activating Haragi during block stun. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but maybe someone a little more knowledgeable than I could explain that in the comments. Surane Sanzu Watashi, so this is her gun super. No, this is her sword super. Tension gauge is now spent on the first frame of startup. Yep, the opponent now be launched from transitioning to lock cinematic upon hitting with the second hit. Fix an issue where the opponent would exhibit unintended behavior when the second hit connected where the opponent landed. Okay. Pretty standard stuff. Small buffs for Viken. Um, does she have a guard crush? I don't think she does. I can't remember if she does. Testament. We made adjustments to the situation of their combos, making it easier to lead into Okizeme. Sweep now causes reduced horizontal blowback, and grounded Grave Reaper heavy triggers a different hit stun state. This makes it easier for standing K to connect from a heavy Grave Reaper, even when as a far distance after hitting with sweep. When Unholy Diver hits, the opponent no longer techs upon landing. It is now easier to approach an opponent after an aerial hit, and use as a combo finisher can lead to strong Okizeme. Unholy Diver. Hold on, is that the Crow? When it hits midair? I think that's Crow, right? Let me just go back and find it. Double check this. Testament. Special Unholy Diver. It's the Crow. Oh, Crow gives hard knockdown? Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, Testament is looking very strong this patch. Again, I think it's going to come down to matchup spread and stuff, but let's see. Sweep, reduce horizontal blowback, so there might be more combos. Stain no longer activated by off the ground hits. Oh, you can OTG when an opponent has stained? That combos nicely with the Unholy Diver change where you get a hard knockdown. Good lord. I mean, it probably does. But yeah, I mean, like, has to make an OTG and get Oki like that and keep stain state. Oh, that's nasty. Grave Reaper, change the hit stun save the opponent when hit by the second projectile. Gotta see what that means. And Calamity 1, tension gauge is now spent on the first frame. Testament has been getting nothing but buffs in the last couple of patches. Honestly, I think Testament might be a top tier. It's very possible. Because, like, the Zoner, who has really good mix-up stuff, can now get access to even more setups where you're going to get, like, teleports shenanigans and mix. Like, good lord. We'll have to see. Plus, like, I don't think Testament is really, like, hurt that badly by the system mechanic changes. Testament looking pretty promising, I think, just from my first impression. The one thing that they are affected by is red wild assault changes, but like, that's fine. Like, it's a universal change across all the red wild assault users. Bridget, add a new application to some less frequency used special moves. Rock the Baby midair can now hit aerial opponents in the hit stun state and has faster startup. Oh, you can combo with it. Rolling movement now deals more damage when charged. In combination with the changes to Rock the Baby, this improves combo damage, especially in the corner. Crouching Heavy Slash. Reduced knockback on aerial block. Reduced launch height on aerial block. Okay, I'm going to have to lab that out. Wow, big damage increase on rolling movement. Charge damage. It's been increased by 23. So it's now 55 damage to 32. That's big. Fix an issue where performing Roman cancel at the same time as landing would prevent the use of rolling movement until the landing action was performed again. Okay. Rock the Baby Aerial. Aerial changes. It's 5 frames faster. Can now grab while in hit stun. Added upward movement before the attack comes out. Always triggers wall break after hitting near the corner. Okay, so Bridget could force a wall break with it. Expanded proximity requirement for attack forward and move upward. Okay, I mean, some new tools for Bridget to play with. We'll have to see how it works out. So I imagine that Bridget's in a pretty good spot. Not really too affected by any of the system mechanic changes. Like Blue Wild Assault confirms would be a little weaker uncharged, but you namely want to use it for a block string anyway.
Then you just get some new combo routing, possibly increasing Bridget's overall damage. Already had a really good set play and stuff like that. Neutral's still pretty solid. Okay. Sin Kisuke. Now, Sin is definitely majorly impacted by the guard crush changes because, like, oh, you could YRC Sin's pressure now, like when he commits to it. We have revised situations where its combo damage will increase, particularly reducing mid-screen damage. Additionally, we've improved the performance of normals that were difficult to use. Elk Hunt can no longer be followed up when it hits as a combo starter. Oh my god. I mean, that's completely fair. Yeah. Because, I mean, a stun dipper you can full combo off of with stamina. Good lord. This reduces the damage available from this low profile lunging move that excels in neutral. Yeah, really good change. We have adjusted the blowback of the hoof stomp follow up move, making it possible to land additional hits from mid screen. Instead, a wall bounce effect has been added, allowing for combos when hitting in the corner. Hoof stomp. Is that 6K? No, because they would just say 6K. Hoof stomp, hoof stomp. I'm trying to remember. I'm downloading some video software to splice these together on my laptop, so don't mind that. Sin Kisuke, Sin Kisuke. Where is the sun? Where is the sun? Show me the prodigal son. Special moves. Hoof stomp. Okay, it's his overhead. To making it possible to land additional. Okay, yeah, so yeah, instead of him putting you into like some high-low shenanigans and getting big combos, like he probably has to spend meter for it now. Those are pretty big nerfs. Sin was very strong in the previous patch. And yeah, now it's something that you're going to look out for in the corner. Downward hitbox of jumping S has been extended. This makes it less susceptible to being countered by 6P when used after a ground throw and set play, as well as making it a more reliable jump in. Crouch and kick, change recovery from 11 frames to 12, change frame advantage of block from -2 to -3. Does that mean it's unsafe now? Like, could you YRC this? I'll have to test that out. Jumping slash, change active frames from 4 to 6. Expanded hitbox downward at the base of the move. Beak driver follow up. Reduce duration. Ooh, okay, that's probably going to nerf combo routing. Hawk Baker, reduce horizontal blowback on hit for 12 to 14 frames of the action. Expanded hitbox forward for 12 to 14. Blowback and hitbox. Okay, this is interesting. I have to see what this all means for Hawk Baker. Elk Hunt, blowback, decrease launch height when Elk Hunt or Elk Hunt follow up or hit as the first hit of a combo. Yeah, so if you use it in a combo, you're fine to extend, but like using it otherwise is not good. Decrease the height after ground bounce, change opponent's hit stun state after ground bounce, added wall bounce effect. So yeah. RTL, tension key is now spent on the first frame of startup, counter hit effect removed. Tire Bell, reduced counter hit effect on initial hit. Okay. Maybe it's like decreasing their damage on counter hit. I have to figure out what the counter hit change means. I'm actually not too sure. If anyone knows, give a holler in the comments. Bedman, I expect buffs here. Crouching Heavy Slash now leads into better match developments. R.I.S.C has improved usability to remedy its previously limited potential in certain situations. Properties of Call ABA during the projectile startup have been adjusted. It's now easier to safely return to neutral when the start of Call AB 4BA is blocked after the Crouching Heavy Slash. Error 60 projectile from call 4B9 malfunction will no longer extend off the screen. This makes set play involving error 6E in the corner more potent. Yeah, sounds like buffs. Defense. Yeah, so Bedman takes a little more damage. Pretty minor increase. Probably just so it's taken about the same amount of damage. Adjusted how changes to defense due to call 13C are processed in line with the changes to the risk level mechanics. This may result in a slight difference compared to previous damage taken. Call 4BA. Change the projectile properties of the first frame after startup as follows. Increase knockback and launches the opponent. And call 4BA. See, like, I don't know any of these moves. Call 4BA. Okay, so that move. Increase lateral Backpack launches the opponent. From the second frame onwards, the projectile remains unchanged from previous versions. Okay, so maybe you get like combos point blank. Call 4B9, malfunction. The projectile from R.I.S.C no longer extends past the corner. 4B9. Look at this. Okay, yeah, like his guard crush. Which that is affected by the yellow Roman cancel change. Tension gauge is now spent on the first frame of startup. Okay, a couple of changes here. Nothing too crazy. Very small stuff. Asuka. Some rarely used spells have been improved, while the balance of mana gain and cost has been revised. This allows for more active spell use, broadening neutral options. Aquila Metron no longer has invincibility. Wow, they took away his DP. Has been revamped into a spell that freezes opponents. On hit, it grants significant advantage, making it easier to gain momentum afterwards. You know what? That's kind of a fair change. I know that, like, maybe an Asuka player might be like, no, my DP, but it's like, it's a DP that comes up like once every couple of games, and then your opponent is just like looking out for it, right? Like an opponent that's aware of it, it's like, oh yeah, you got DP. It's like it was super telegraphed. And the fact that it's like, a DP that you have to randomly draw from your bookmarks meant that like you might be more inclined to use it because you have it. So I actually kind of like the idea of reworking it to be something that's just more like applicably usable as opposed to like a DP that's telegraphed. Low pass filter gravity now is adjusted blowback for its target and has an added ground bounce effect. It is now easier to land additional attacks on hit, making it viable in combos. Interesting. And that's like one of the holes, if I remember correctly. Any of those filters. Visit the spells page. Have to look through here. Low pass, yeah. This one. Okay, maybe there's something to explore with. Bookmark, full order now costs less mana and recover mana. Instant now recovers more mana. Good. I remember laughing at that shit. It was pathetic before. Overall, there are increased neutral opportunities available while maintaining more mana. Test case 2. Reduce the number of Howling Metron by 1 and increase the number of Aquila Metron by 1. That's fair considering the rebalances, so you can actually get like more of the Metron spells. Recover mana instant, increase mana recovery amount. We'll see how much. Low pass, adjusted blowback of magic affected and added ground bounce effect. Delayed Howling Metron, fix initiative with a speed, would drastically decelerate under certain conditions. Not sure what those were. Aquila Metron changed from invincible move to move that freezes. Properties such as the hitbox position and recovery have been adjusted overall in line with this change. Remove strike and throw invincibility can now be canceled into special moves. Could be cool. I kind of like the idea of giving him like another combo usage tool. Bookmark full order, reduce mana depletion during time stop effect. Honestly, this is nice because like they've given more counterplay to the spells in previous patches. Like you can jab them more consistently. But then I really feel like they overcorrected by gutting how much mana he can get back, right? And that kind of just made him like kind of mid. So I think giving him more mana options is like a good call so that the character can do what he is meant to do. We'll see. I mean, people might be a little scared about Asuka changes, but I like the character personally. I think a character that requires as much improvisation based on like what bookmarks you get, as well as recognition and planning and stuff like that. I think it's super interesting. Like I like Asuka as a character, and maybe I'm crazy for that. But I think that these are a good way to buff him. Where I think they've taken out some of the BS because like he was way too strong as a zoner with like how potent his stuff was. But I think there's plenty of counterplay to it right now. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But I'm okay with this stuff. I've missed Asuka. Johnny, okay. Evo champion Johnny. When Jacko won Evo, she lost her sweep and they gave it back. So what are they going to do to Johnny? We revised his ability to quickly close distance and go on the offense, making adjustments to his mobility. Ooh, are they going to nerf his dash? His dash movement speed has been reduced, making it cover less distance. Okay, fair. It is now more difficult to close distance after hitting with Mistfinder or forcing a block with turn up. Standing heavy slash now has increased knockback, creating more distance with the opponent on both block and hit. It is now more difficult to combo into Misfiner or Wild Assault after hitting with the far edge of the attack in the corner. On the other hand, the increased distance reduces the risk of placing a card with deal after standing heavy slash is blocked. The deal follow-up after Vault is now available later. It can now be more easily intercepted with high-hitting attacks, making it easier to handle, so you can 6p it more. Far standing slash has reduced hitback, making it easier to connect with standing heavy slash afterwards. This improves the consistency of combos and strings after hitting with the far edge of the attack. Forward dash, reduce movement speed. Due to the change in movement speed, movement distance has been reduced. Now, this can affect a lot of things. So his dash is still very fast, but the problem with his dash was how far it went for being an unreactable dash. By the time that you realize he dashed once, he dashed twice, and he was in your face. We have to see how much this is reduced, because this could very well affect combo routing that he could do with some of his combo stuff. Because he got access to a whole bunch of new combos with how fast his dash got. But now we got to see how that's going to change as well with the speed, right? This could function like a reversion of the buff, but I have to see. Backdash, change total recovery from 18 frames to 22 frames. Due to the change in recovery, movement distance has been slightly increased. I think it's usually better to have a short backdash as opposed to a long backdash. I think that's something in Guilty Gear Strive, but I could be wrong. Far standing slash, reduce knockback. Standing heavy slash, increase knockback. Vault, delayed the deal, midair follow-up timing. Okay, I had to lab that out. That's my name. Tension gate spent on the first frame. Fix an issue unintended behavior occurred if you hit chip with the Gamma Blade. Joker trick. Fix an issue. Okay, so fixes to the supers. A couple of nerfs to Johnny, and we'll have to see, but I think these are steps in the right direction. I mean, yeah, I like this because Johnny already has some really blessed normals, and he had some really great confirms, but he could also close the gap to get into his hellish zone of mix. And don't forget too, Johnny is hurt by the red wild assault nerf, so that guts his pressure on block. And he's also hurt by the Y.R.C changes, right? So if he guard crushes you, you could just choose to Y.R.C and not hold the next mix up. We have to see if he's able to bait it. That's going to be the key thing, I think. Good steps. We'll see what's up. I don't think that this is going to ruin Johnny, but we'll have to see. The dash change is the forward dash change, I should specify. That's the big question mark for me right now. Is what does that look like? You know? Elfelt. We revise the properties of some moves, making them to make them easier to deal with. At the same time, improve the usability of moves that were not often used, expanding the range of options available. I guess Here I Go is going to be no longer her sole thing as a character. Chain Lollipop has been adjusted so the number of follow-ups is no longer reset when Here I Go is used. Thank God. That's actually good because that was just annoying looping pressure. This means that after the initial Here I Go, all routes will end after 2 follow-ups. That's good. There's no longer some looping shit to just spam it. And now, they're free to buff the character without having that to be in her kit too, in future stuff. And I think they're going to do some stuff with it right now. But yeah, good. Nerf the annoying part of this kit. The fact that she could just sort of loop high-low stuff infinitely was annoying. Maybe stupid fun, but annoying. And now it's you go into it once, and now the opponent is put into one guessing situation, and you got to make it count. I like that. I think that's a good change. I think that's cutting off some of the annoyances of the character. Bomb Bomniere now disappears if Elfeld is put into hit stun state after placing it. Okay, some counterplay. In exchange, a launch effect has been added when the strike part of the move hits. It can now lead into Okizeme even after hitting mid-screen. Okay. Command Normal 3's hitbox has been expanded forward with the hit effect changed to a stagger. This makes it easier to combo to Miss Charlotte out of repair mid-screen, slightly increasing combo damage. Now no longer launches the opponent on grounded hit, added a stagger effect, reduced knockback on hit. Okay. Kind of nice. Expanded the hitbox forward. Chain Lollipop. Up to 2 tall follow-ups can be performed. Performing Here I Go again during Chain Lollipop no longer resets the number of follow-ups possible. Good. Here I Go. After performing a dash cancel out of Here I Go, the start of the dash can no longer be canceled into Here I Go. Oh, they took out the Kara stuff as well. Again, I think kind of like interesting. It's just kind of getting rid of some of the looping stuff. I'm trying to remember like what applications there were. I remember exploring them a bit. But again, this is kind of just making it so that you can't, you know, spam here I goes again. Up high, expanded hitbox and hurtbox downward. P during chain lollipop. Maybe this will hit more situations, maybe combo stuff. I'm not sure. Yeah, then her super, same tension gauge thing. Added launch effect on ground hit. Projectile will now disappear if Alpha enters the hit stun state. So then, which is good. It's like, oh, if I'm able to bust out with a reversal and she doesn't bait it, I don't get blown up for it. So that kind of slows down some of that offense. Kind of surprised to see some Alpha nerfs here, but like I think the way that shit would have been good was kind of like unfun to fight, a little bit toxic. It's pretty brain dead. And so now like interacting more with the opponent, I think, is good. I think this is like a healthier game approach. We'll see how it goes. Up next is ABBA. Made adjustments to the limit moves that easily allowed for aggressive offense. Additionally, we improved the usability of throws, which are difficult to use due to the mechanics of Jelly Rage. Hurtbox for Frenzy and Astonishment during Jealous Rage have been expanded downward, making it more difficult to evade grounded pokes and projectiles. However, it is still possible to evade low hitting attacks as before. Ground throw and air throw no longer deplete the jealousy gauge during their animations. Good, actually. It felt bad to go for a throw with ABBA. This allows for easier use of throws without worrying about the remaining jealousy gauge, making throws a more viable option at close range. It's good. Aerial bonding and dissolving. No longer moves backward and the action is interrupted during the hit animation. Same with aerial bonding and dissolving with Jealous Rage. Frenzy and Astonishment, Jealous Rage. Expanded Hurtbox downward before the attack comes out, so it's going to get blown up by some more pokes. The law is king, K is king. Same tension gauge, same fix to chip. Tension gauge, same thing to chip. I think that's fine. ABBA's done pretty well at some events. A nice buff in there. I'm not sure about aerial bonding and dissolving, but good changes, I'd say. Like I think ABBA's in a good spot. I think ABBA's a strong character. I think she's healthy. I think she's very unique. I think it's worth seeing more of her. Slayer. We have reduced the benefit gained from counter hits on certain moves, making moves that were difficult to deal with more manageable. On the other hand, we've strengthened the benefit gained from jabs, making it easy to create openings from minor exchanges. Crouching heavy slash has increased horizontal blowback on counter hit. This reduced the reward for a counter hit at a distance. Oh, you might not get pile bunker loops off of this anymore. Ooh, that's big. Master Hammer now has increased recovery along with increased guard crush duration. The situation after blocking remains unchanged, but is now easier to punish if invaded with a jump. Good. If you're able to call this out, you should be able to get rewards more often. The attack level has been increased for standing P and crouching P. They can now combo into Mappa Hunch K version, meaning you can initiate your offense off of jabs. Always scary to give Slayer better jabs. It means that his defensive game is stronger. Change recovery from 9 frames to 11 frames. Frame advantage on block remains unchanged. Increase attack level. Change recovery. Okay, so they changed the recovery just to make sure that the advantage on block is unchanged, but the attacks themselves do more hit stun. Increase horizontal blowback on counter hit from crouching heavy slash. Master step. Change recovery from 16. So an extra 8 frames of recovery. Jesus. Blowback adjustment no longer triggers grounded tech on landing. Increase height of ground bounce, increase launch height on counter hit. The follow-up input buffer remains unchanged. So I wonder if you get better pickups off of this. We haven't really seen much of Slayer since like his last couple of nerfs, so maybe this will just like help take off some of his extreme edge cases while making him a little better on defense. Like if your jab hits, then you can start some offense. We'll see what's up. I'm kind of missing a bit of Slayer, but maybe I'm just crazy. Queen Dizzy. Let's see. To make long-range combat more sustainable, her poking options have been improved. The active frames of I use this to catch fish have been extended. This allows it to be used as a wall to prevent the opponent from approaching. Additionally, the projectile durability has been increased, making it more likely to win clashes against other projectiles. The opponent no longer takes upon landing after Michael's sword slash. Creates an opportunity to set up projectiles after a hit. She's getting oaky. The forward hitbox of crouching S has been expanded. This makes it a more reliable countermeasure against the opponent's dash, and in conjunction with the change to Michael's sword, the benefit on hit has been increased. Bar standing, shrunk hurtbox forward, expanded hitbox forward on crouching S, so her pokes are better. Frozen state no longer triggers wall stick. Oh, so you can do that pretty much and then not have to worry about it popping the wall. I use this to catch fish, increase clash level, change active frames from 16 frames to 36 frames. Wow, that's quite a bit. Reduce knockback, active frames end after connecting with the opponent. Michael's sword, slash version, no longer triggers grounded tech on landing, remove tumble effect. Imperial Ray, now, tension gauge, chip fix. Gamma Ray, if the initial projectile does not hit, is no longer transitioned into the cinematic. The overall property has been adjusted in line with its change. 100% of tension gauge is spent during the first time freeze. Added strike and throw invincibility starting from the first time freeze. Oh, this is a reversal now? Oh, shit. Fix an issue with a projectile hitbox that would sometimes disappear during the first time freeze effect. Add a proximity requirement that prevents hitting opponents located behind the character's own push box. Okay, I mean, I don't notice any changes to the gravity stuff in here. Like, she's going to build tons of burst gauge for the opponent still, I think. But getting more Oki and being able to zone more, which is sort of like her playstyle, I think is good. Okay. Venom. Made adjustments to improve the overall usability of moves and make it easier to gauge in situations that utilize the balls. The duration the balls remain after being struck is increased, making them easier to reuse. This gives variety to his neutral games and strings, allowing for the creation of diverse setups depending on the situation. Additionally, the ball's damage has been increased. We've revised the hitboxes of various normal moves to make it easier to strike set balls. In particular, jumping attacks were prone to missing, so we've added hitboxes that only hit set balls. Oh. Crouching Heavy Slash has had its blowback adjusted, making it easier to use in combos. This improves the consistency of combos from close standing slash. Carcass Raid S version now has reduced recovery time. This makes it more viable in a wide range of situations, including neutral, strings, and combos. Additionally, we have fixed some issues. Due to this, some combos and strings may no longer be usable. Furthermore, due to the changes made to risk level mechanics, the damage of Triumbaka, with accumulated risk level has been reduced. Yeah, so Venom is going to take like 2 weeks to figure out, I think. Increase ball movement speed when striking balls from standing P. Expanded hitbox and hurtbox forward from standing kick. Crouching heavy slash. Um, Reduce horizontal blowback of the second hit. Jumping K. Expanded hitbox and hurtbox of the attack's edge downward. Jumping P also increased movement speed on the balls. Jump S expanded hitbox and hurtbox forward during the latter half of active frames. Added a hitbox only for striking balls after the active frames end. Interesting. Added hitbox for striking balls after the active frames end for jump heavy slash. Ball increased damage from 30 to 40. Change the duration balls struck balls remain on screen from 120 frames to 300 frames. Good God, that's massive. That's a 3-second increase. Instead of being 2 seconds, it's there for 5 seconds. Fix an issue where the speed of a struck ball varied depending on the positional relationship between Venom and the ball when it was struck. Fix an issue where the outcome would differ when balls collided with each other if balls were present on screen. Fix an issue where balls would not collide with each other when struck at low speed. Fix an issue where balls generated by Carcass, Raid, Stinger Aim, and QV would not collide with other balls. Fix an issue where balls... Okay, so they added Venom to the game, is the joke I'm going to make. QV, expanded hitbox for the non-charge and lightly charged version. Performance of the fully charged version remains unchanged. Damage of the initial hit changed from 15 to 30 on Carcass Raid. Double the damage. That's crazy. Carcass Raid S version. Increased risk level reduction of the initial hit. Increased combo blowback scaling. Increased combo blowback scaling when the initial hit as the first hit of the combo. Increased wall break value gain at the initial hit. Change recovery from 27 to 19. Frame advantage on block from -3 to +5. Oh, I see. I see. I see. I see. There's going to be a lot to unpack with Venom. I think it's going to take time, but I think that he might actually be a character. We might actually see him. Heavy Slash reduced the movement speed of ball struck with the charge version. Damage of the initial hit changed from 15 to 30. Baka. Distance at the affected corner has been unified regardless of the opponent character. Nice, good quality life fix. Okay, so Venom. There's going to be a lot to unpack with Venom. There's going to be crazy shit coming out with Venom, I think. Unica. Unica's been in the game for a shorter period compared to other characters, resulting in fewer adjustments. ATGG Penetrate now has horizontal proximity requirement. This makes it more difficult to hit opponents after attempting to punch from behind, reducing unnatural hits. ATTG Penetrate, quarter circle forward kick. Is that I think that's her stun dipper, right? Just double checking. Yeah, that's her stun dipper. Add a proximity requirement to the projectile part during mode R.I.S.C, preventing it from hitting an opponent located behind the character's own push box. Megadeth Buster. Attention gauge is now spent on the first status frame. Second hit would count as a counter hit when transitioned to lock, cinematic, and on chip. Yeah, so Unica Litter just has that. Okay. Big patch. Some characters got more than others, obviously. But honestly, I kind of feel like the nerfs and the system mechanic changes are good. Rank mode is based. Wi-Fi indicator is based. I think the risk rework is going to be really healthy and good for the game, like actually achieving their goal of Yellow Roman cancel, the Waddle Sold stuff. Like, I like every single system mechanic change, I think. I think that's fantastic. I think that's great. I think that is, like, perfect no notes. Soul's got some nice buffs, very small stuff, but, like, I know Jonathan Tene won. What tournament was that he won with this character? So, like, I think Soul's fine. Kai is cracked. Kai got a lot of buffs this patch. You know, and I don't really see many Kais outside of Danny Almaza. I think a lot of people are going to go back to Kai. May's got some really nice buffs too. Like her poke game is going to be better, which I think is like good. Like her close range damage has always been good, but like I think her poke game has been like reduced a little bit, and so now they're improving it. Axel Low, the whole snail thing, him getting consistent Oki and stuff. I mean, as annoyed I am with the character, it's a skill issue on my part. So him getting a little more is fine. Chip has a new low profile option for sweep. It's kind of all the changes Chip got. That's kind of crazy. And then Potemkin, I'm going to be very interested in seeing. Like Pot Buster is the same. The Oki's going to be what's different. He's got a couple of good nerfs. He's really hurt by the guard crush change. In fact, you can YRC it now. Like there's a way to escape it, and we have to see if he can bait it or anything. Faust, I think, has some good buffs. Some really good changes. Milia range, more good buffs. Zato, welcome back. You know, Ram, probably candidate for most nerfed for once. Like, we're gonna have to see about this. Leo also got some nerfs, and I think in a really good way as well. Nagoriyuki, rest in peace, Beyblade. Good God, out of my face. We'll have to see. I think they killed like his whole corner Oki, or at least what you could do with him, which is fine. Like he's still got plenty of really strong stuff. Like I think he's nerfed, but it's like maybe minor nerfs. I mean, it's just taking away stuff that the character shouldn't have had in the first place, and he didn't have in the first place. Giovanna's got some nice buffs. Anji, a few nerfs here and there, and a buff. Eno, we'll have to see how this goes through. Like it's Mad Love Agitado did need like a little nerf, I think. Better combo tool, worse as a pressure tool. I think that's fine. Gold Lewis Dickinson, I mean he gets I think really hurt by the guard crutch change with YRC when you have that stuff. Behemoth Typhoon, the fact he doesn't have a hard knockdown is really good off of aerial stuff. Jacko, new toys to play with, Happy Chaos. We'll see how big these nerfs are, but I think there's still a lot really strong with the character. Lycan, we have to see. It's like a small nerf to Yozansen, I think. Testament. Testament is looking cracked. I think Testament might be a big winner this patch. Bridget, a few new tools. Sin definitely nerfed. Like gutted even, I'd say. Bedman, a few new tools to play with. Asuka, welcome back. Johnny, I really got to see what this forward dash looks like, and as well as like the ramifications of vault and stuff like that. But I think Johnny's hit really hard by the system mechanic changes too, like very hard. Like there's counterplay to all this stuff now. Like oh, this patch is good. Elfelt, some slight nerfs, but I think it's like fine. If anything, this means like they could actually do something more interesting with this character than making her a chain lollipop spammer. And I think she's in a good spot too. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I think she's good. But now it's like she's not going to be brain dead annoying. Abba got like just the throw change really. Slayer is a Bare reward is a little better. Dizzy is interesting. Venom is a whole lot to look at, and Unica just has one change. I like this patch a lot. I think this might be one of the better Guilty Gear Strive patches we've ever gotten. And I'm very curious to like see how everything goes and plays out with it. I'm gonna have to figure out like how I want to do the video too for patch notes. If it's gonna be one big video, or like if I do, I mean like it doesn't really make sense for Unica, unfortunately. But like it's also gonna take me time. I think I'm gonna do all of this like individually with each character because I can at least talk about like system mechanic stuff with each character, right? I think that might be the approach I do. Do a video on the system mechanics, do a video on each character, just so I can get content going out through this and cover the patch a bit. And then it's like all more bite-sized stuff too. Anyways, if you watched this, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. I know a lot of other people got their reactions out. But I'm pretty hopeful about this patch. I think it looks good. I think it's going in a really good direction for the game. And we'll see how it plays out. I'm excited to play this game quite a bit more, especially with the new rank mode coming out. So I'll see y'all in the patch note videos themselves.